Say thanks for coming today. Briefly looking back at Ohio State, I know our team was disappointed in our performance Saturday. We obviously played a very good football team, a very well-coached football team, and they think they showed it. Our team also understands that's not the standard of performance we're looking for in any outing. And so go back and look at the tape and see where that tape can help us from a correction standpoint and what we need to do to move on and have some positives. But as we look forward, if you look back at that game, having played one game, I think will really help us as we look ahead now to our conference opener. In that game Saturday, we had 7 true freshmen playing the game. We had 5 redshirt freshmen playing the game. And we had 5 other guys that sophomores or above make their first starts essentially in the game. So from that game, we can take that experience that we had with those young guys, and that should really help us as we move forward here and move on. As we prepare, you should make your most improvement from your first game to your second. And I thought we had a really good attitude yesterday, really good approach to it. Yesterday in a helmets practice, today, out there in full pads, I expect it to be a good day for us. It's a home game. It's our first conference game. We're having a commemoration for 9/11 at the game. It's a salute to Heroes Night at the game. There's a lot of really good things going on around the game from a university standpoint, community standpoint, and also obviously playing a real quality opponent like Temple. When I watch Temple on video, I see a real well-coached team, a physical team, a very talented team. Certainly I'm going to think they're one of the more talented teams in our league, and really good tailback. Quarterback was really impressive to me in the Villanova game, much improved from a year ago. And defense, they still run to the ball really well, still got some really good players and physical up front. So with that being said, I'll take any questions.
Did Jurassic play against you guys last year or the other kid?
I'm sorry?
Did Jurassic play against you guys last year or the other kid?
Stewart, no. Girardi played.
Oh, he did play.
Yeah. Girardi played against us, yeah.
Yeah.
He played, I think Buffalo might have been his first start, which was the week before us, and then he played against us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know he didn't
started the last 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played well against us last year, but he was a much improved quarterback, I felt, on the video I watched from their Villanova game. Very efficient. Ball got out of his arm really well. Very accurate. Very impressed with him.
Ohio State blitzed you quite a bit. You expect to see?
Yeah, I would think I would. I would expect to see blitz because I'm not quite sure it was the blitz that was our issue on Saturday as much as their front 4 was the issue Saturday. But I certainly would expect to see continue to see blitz game until we prove that we can protect at a better rate. Yeah.
Rob, in a game like this, did you find anything positive out of Clayton's performance? Or?
Well, sure. Sure we did. I thought Clayton handled the 2-minute situation really well. Before the end of the half, he got some yards with his legs, which is really positive. And to make your first start in that kind of environment, I did think he handled that pretty well. Did he miss some things? Absolutely. But the positive is that Clayton's the guy jumping in here, and he's going to watch that video, and he dissected it, and he's thinking that on Saturday on the bus ride home, he's thinking about the things he could have done better. So he'll grow off of that game. I'm really confident of that.
You mentioned about how young the team was playing in Ohio Stadium, but also the heat. Did it help that you got a lot of people into the game?
Well, did it help? Yes, it's positive. Certainly, those type of conditions, just like playing in a severe rainstorm, it's hard to simulate that. It's hard to prepare for that. And certainly, with our team as we are now with our depth, that was difficult conditions, but they played in the same conditions we did and handled it, I thought, much better.
What do you tell the kids then? Put it behind them?
Well, we did put it behind
it, but
well, no, we
keep repeating it, or what do you do?
I don't, I kind of clean it up on Monday, regardless of whatever game, regardless of how we do on Saturday. We're going to go back and look at that on Monday, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to go through it. And then when we're done with that, we're moving on to the next team. All right, period. So there's no more talk about our previous game because our sights are dead set on our next game. What I told the team was, we have a standard here of performance, and you should have a standard of your own performance, and it should be high, and it's going to be high. And we didn't meet that Saturday. So we have to take that and look at it and figure out what we got to do be better, be your own worst critic. All right, learn from that, because the game does not benefit us at all if we don't learn from it. And if we don't come back and be better from that, then we really have not benefited from that experience in that environment. And that's what I told the team yesterday, and that's what I expect us to do moving forward.
Did you see, were they down yesterday, or what was the kind of the attitude of the kids?
I thought our mood was good yesterday. I thought our mood particularly was good after the, after our team meeting and after the meeting with the position coaches, and and I thought our work yesterday was crisp on a Monday. I did.
There was some comments about that 4th and inches, the one that you lost the challenge. What was the?
Well, my thinking there was it was 7-0 in the game at that time. Our defense was playing pretty well. Offense, we were struggling. I challenged it because I wanted to get a first down. I wanted to keep the chains moving, and I thought that the spot was not correct. And up in the video booth that we now can use the monitors, our coaches upstairs thought we should challenge it. So I challenged it, but I was going to either get the first down on the challenge or punt it. Either way, that was a decision already made before the challenge came down because of where we were in the game at that time. It was 7-0. Ball was, I think, on the 25-yard line or a little below, so we could move the field position a little bit, which had been an issue in the first quarter, and that was the thought process totally going through that.
Well, just point of information, when you throw a challenge flag, do you go to the official and say, I'm challenging this, or do you say, I'm challenging the play? I mean, do you let him know that you want
yeah,
to
I did.
the spot?
The way it works is that I'm going to wait as long as I can to see if they get buzzed. All right, from upstairs, which sometimes on a spot,
Well,
they're not going to get
buzz.
buzzed.
Usually don't buzz on the spot.
Probably not, but I'm still going to wait.
Right.
And then I informed the official, I said, now, if you don't get buzzed, I'm challenging that spot.
Right.
Okay, so don't let
So
the ball
they
be
know-
snapped.
so they
knew
know
that ahead
what
of
to
time.
go
So
back.
when they
So
marked the
they'll
ball
tell
ready
us
for
there.
play, then I came over to him and said, okay, let's use this timeout, and that's how it went down.
And so they are supposed to relay that upstairs, that, hey, he's challenging the spot?
Yeah,
They're supposed to
which is
let
what,
them know?
what I'm challenging, yeah.
Right.
There's certain things you can and cannot challenge.
Right, well, that's what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at. It's
Yeah.
not like, hey, he's challenging the play, was it, you know?
I got to have
Complete,
you're challenging a specific aspect of that situation, of that play.
Thank you.
Did your people upstairs think the ball was over? Or
Yes, we thought that, the 4 inches that we didn't get the first down by was achieved. But the call was, obviously the call was correct on the field because the replay monitor said that it wasn't. So we just move on and we punt it.
But 4 inches, you didn't think, just didn't want to gamble with the 4 inches?
Well, 7-0 balls on a 25-yard line. I didn't think it was worth it at that juncture in the game.
At least a field goal.
And did you have to figure out who to challenge to with the referee not being there? Or did you know which one was the umpire?
No, I just talked to the guy. I talked to the line judge. I talked to the man on our sideline.
Now, you coached, as you mentioned last week, so you coached at Arizona and all that. How does that heat from
With the
Saturday
humidity and the
there?
heat together, the difference is at the University of Arizona, you're training in it every single day. We had a unseasonably cool training camp, but so did they. But it was very unseasonably cool, and that day was the hottest day since July, and so it caught us.
Now, you mentioned the true freshmen that you got into the
Yep.
game. I'm assuming you were planning on using them this year anyway?
Yeah, every one of them, yes, every one of them. I knew every one of those. We knew as a staff every one of those 7 would probably play in the game.
There were 7 of them, okay.
You said 7 or 5?
7 true freshmen: Nick Rossi, Carl Bostic, DeJour Morris, Isaiah Williams, Justin March, Bray Ford, and Devontae Morgan. We had 4 redshirt freshmen play: Juwan Chisholm, who got his first start, L.T. Smith, Jamar Williams, and Anthony Ratosa. And the 5 guys that got their first start that were a little older are Marquello Sewell, Clayton Moore, TJ Marchese, our kicker, Kevin Avasco, our kickoff guy, and then Sheldon Miller, who's a true sophomore, started at Sam linebacker.
Did you mention Gary Ransom? Did he play? Is that right?
Gary Ransom did play, so that would be 8 true
Yeah.
freshmen. Thank you.
Special teams, yeah.
Well, because
Thank
he
you.
played some defense too, didn't he?
That's 8 true freshmen. He did at the end of the game, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Steve. You are always on top of things. I appreciate it.
What little I could see at the game, I saw little ants running down there, and one of them got a 47.
We had
on
8
it,
true
so-
freshmen play.
8 true.
Now, being Temple's got a new coach, man, I know it's kind of
hard to compare apples to apples, but from what they did last year to this year, is there a lot of similarities? There's a lot
Well,
of
you know,
differences?
it's still hard to say. Villanova is a different offensive system than we run. I think their defensive scheme is different because they're 4-3 defense now, and they were 3-4 with Coach Golden. So clearly they're different on defense. And offensively, I still believe that it appears that they're going to still be a power running team, although I'm certain there are some elements of what they did at Florida somewhere in their game here. It's just a matter when it comes out.
You tried to watch Florida's offense from last year?
Tried to watch as much of everything as we could.
Well, what did you see at Villanova? Did they run just base stuff?
They
What did
ran, and they did it very well. They ran a lot of power football. You know, quarterback was very accurate in his throws, play action passes and stuff, and really impressed with their offensive line. I was impressed with them last year. Really impressed with their tight ends. They look like clones. They're all about 6'4" to 6'5", about 260. And like I said, the tailback is a tremendous player, Bernard Pierce, and I was really impressed with their quarterback.
What do you remember about last year's game? That was 9-0.
It was 6-0 at halftime.
That's right.
I thought we played pretty well on defense and special teams, and struggled tremendously on offense in that game.
How did Pierce play in that game? I know he was injured off and on.
I think he played some, but I don't know how. He played some, but he wasn't every. It wasn't every down.
Yeah.
It was the
Correct.
one that we're working with Brown as
Yeah.
well. Brown really came on at the end of the year.
Coach, I know you can't look ahead, but it seems like off last weekend, it seems like the conference as a whole is up this year. I mean, there's some impressive performers. Is that your impression too?
Yeah, I sure think so. I mean, for Bowling Green to go out to Idaho on the road and get that win, that's great for them. For what Ball State did, playing Indiana, and that's Staff's first game, that was tremendous for the league. Toledo, I guess, obviously did well. I mean, we had a lot of teams play very well. I think Western Michigan played a very hard-fought game with Michigan. So we had some teams, I think, do really well. So I do believe Northern Illinois' win over Army looked like it was very impressive. So I think our league is up. I thought the league, I've said it time and time again, there's a lot of really good players in this league, and it's excellent coaching in this league. And it's a great combination for our league, and a difficult combination when you're going against each other every week.
Rob, I forgot to ask, when I mentioned Clayton, I want to also ask about the defense. Yes, you give up 500 yards, but Brian had another solid game.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else stand out when you and Coach Cosgrove looked at the tape?
Well, I mean, we felt that Brian obviously played very well. We thought Nico Capone and Owen Wilson, played well. Thought Manley Waller played very well.
But were you disappointed you couldn't get a sack? I mean, couldn't get much pressure on
Yeah, we're
Bowser
disappointed in
and
no sacks and no TFLs. We gave up a lot of big play yardage now. We gave 230 yards in big plays, in 11 plays, 7 pass and 4 run, I think it was. So that's way too much.
Right.
Injury report last week, this week?
Anybody
coming back or anybody?
Nobody's coming. Broderick Alexander, who didn't play in the game because he was still slowed by a quad. We expect him to practice today. Troy Gilmer got dinged in that game. He's a wait and see. We'll see what he can do here.
What's wrong, man?
Matt Little will still be out,
Matt Little will still be out.
and
Pugsley.
Bill Alexander's still out.
Pugsley too? Or
Pugsley is very doubtful for this game. Yes,
what was Gilmore's injury?
his ankle.
Does all this, as over the weekend, this talk again about conference realignment and all those things, does that affect anything at the MAC level, or?
That's I'm certain that Tom and Dr. Proenza, Commissioner Steinbrecher, they'll make good decisions on all that stuff. They'll do a great job researching how it affects, if it affects our league. I got more on my plate right now that I need to address than we got a great conference. We got 14 teams starting next year, and I'm certain any decisions made relative to anything else will be handled by some very, very capable people.
Anything else?
Good.
All right.
Thanks for coming.